Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday the 25th of May 2019. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the amazing Glastonbury tarot. This is a deck that has been out of print for a while, and when I lived in the Isle of Avalon, I asked around and I bought this deck for I think 70 or 100 pounds. So a lot of money was spent on this deck, and it's worth it because it's so special. I'm in Brighton at the moment, and it's like party central over here. The sun is out, the beach is full of people. People are rollerblading and jogging along the seafront, and it's really happy. The energy is really positive. And I'm moving back to the Isle of Avalon, Glastonbury, in August, at the end of August. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to miss the ocean. I'm going to miss the excitement of the city and just looking at all the beautiful, the beautiful men walking around. This is a city full of really good looking men. But I'm more excited about returning to a place that really feels like home to me. I don't know why. I have no roots. I'm not German, I'm not South African, I'm not Austrian. I could never live anywhere like that. And Glastonbury is the only place that I've ever felt at home and that I felt rooted. And that's very strange because I have no family, no friends. Or I didn't have any friends when I moved there, but I felt an instant sense of home. Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the world. So if you ever want to visit, it's a magical place. And it really opened its arms to me and welcomed me. So I'm looking forward to going back. Despite the vibe and the buzz of Brighton, I feel much more connected to the joy and the peace and the warmth and the feeling of being in a warm, kind of comfortable womb in Glastonbury. It just feels very protected. So first of all, we have the Three of Vesicas. That's the Three of Pentacles, creativity. Then we have the Lovers in reverse. And finally, we have the Five of Pentacles, endurance, also in reverse. The Three of Vesicas, we've got a young man here. He is working on these pentacles, and behind him is kind of a construction site. He's kind of put these trees together to form this triangle. There's a what are they called? A tarp or some sort of a sheet there. And it looks like there's a giant tree at the back. So could be that he's a tree doctor and he's covering up areas of the tree that have been damaged by things like lightning. And he is preparing to climb up and to fix the tree and to make sure it survives. So it's so interesting that I spoke about home, and the little town I grew up in Germany was called Diedenbergen, and the biggest tree in the village stood on top of this hill, and it was hundreds and hundreds of years old, and lightning struck one day, and it really struck in the middle of the tree, and the tree doctors came along and they put like cement where the lightning had struck, and it meant that the tree would survive, but it had this big scar. And I always found that very meaningful, that even something as old and solid as a tree could be injured that way and needed help and healing. And now scientists have discovered that trees have a heartbeat. They have a very slow heartbeat. And I always knew that trees were alive. That's why I've always been a very unashamed tree hugger. I love hugging trees because you feel loved. You feel loved. So you're good at what you do. You're thriving in a physical sense. The real world is easy to you. You naturally understand what's going on. You have the ability to heal. You have the ability to fix things which don't work. So you can fix your financial situation. You can deal with a broken tooth, make an appointment to go see the dentist and have the expert deal with it. Your car is broken. You don't have to have a meltdown over that. You can take it into the shop and have it sorted out and fixed. It's a day of being creative in the physical world and using your talents to not only fix things and heal them, but to get creative. So it's beyond just meeting your needs and overcoming obstacles. Not only can you overcome obstacles, but you can make them wonderful. So if you can't get from A to B because there's a big river running through it, you can build a bridge. But you don't just have to build a bridge, you can build something glorious like the Brooklyn Bridge or the bridge in San Francisco, a true work of art. So that's what you're able to do today. You're able to see beyond the problem, and you're not only able to deal and solve that problem, but you're able to do it with flair and style. The Lovers are in reverse. The Lovers, I'm not even going to try and pronounce these as Welsh names. The Lovers is a fundamental card of finding something, being in love with another human being, with something in your life that you absolutely adore. The cherry blossoms are there. Everything is growing. It's all about new connections. It's about things being intimate and close and really feeling naturally and spiritually connected with someone else. That card is in reverse, and what we see is the sun. And the sun is your identity. It's what gives you life. So you're not completed by being in a loving relationship today. What you love and what you really learn to love is yourself, and you learn to rely on your inner sunlight, your inner power, your inner strength that allows you to not only overcome obstacles, but to overcome them with the real sense of grace and style. And what did Elizabeth Taylor say? This is the time for grit and survival. She said something like that. Surviving with grace. So you really feel connected with your inside power. That's what you connect with today. You realize how strong you are. And the 5 of vesicas is poverty, and you're able to endure that poverty. She's in the cold, in the snow, making a fire, just in this cave trying to protect herself. She's got nothing. That's in reverse. So you realize that you don't have to struggle because money is not your security. What you realize today is that the security you have in life is your power. The security you have in life is your ability to heal things, to solve problems with creativity, with flair, with style. You start to realize that security doesn't come from money or your family or the approval of loved ones or the inheritance that you're waiting for or the full-time job where everyone says, "Oh, aren't you wonderful?" The real stability comes from having a connection with yourself, loving yourself. I know a lot of people will be watching this and groaning, saying, "Oh, I love myself. How self-indulgent does that sound? How silly and stupid." But there's nothing more powerful than looking in the mirror and saying, "I love you. Flaws and all, I love you." and I've been so mean to you and so hard on you over the years. Thank you for taking care of me despite the way I've treated you. I love you. And when you make friends with yourself, you activate your inner power, you fall in love with yourself, you realize you don't need anybody else to complete you, to fulfill you, that you have everything that you need, wholeness within yourself, and that then exudes out into the world, and you're able to use that power to learn some new skills. So today, if you feel like, wow, I've got a lot of power and I feel connected with myself, but I really have no skills. I'm not a tree surgeon. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm not an artist. I'm not an engineer or an economist or someone who works with the environment. I really don't know anything. Today is a wonderful day to start learning a new skill. So what is it that you want to learn? Ask yourself that question. Do you want to learn how to be a journalist? Do you want to learn how to be a romance novel writer? Or do you want to learn how to be a rock climbing instructor? What is it that you want to do? And it's only by being positive and saying, do you know what, I do love myself and I have a lot to offer. How can I find the best way to do that? How can I offer something with meaning? The energy of the sun is going to spill over and show you a way forward. And also it's going to pull you out of poverty or a state of just scraping by financially in the world, because you stop doing jobs or you stop taking jobs for the money and you start doing something that you really love and believe in. And when you do those kind of jobs where you're the expert, where you have specific skills that you have acquired because you genuinely have looked within and said, how can I serve in a way that fulfills me? That's when you become an expert. That's when you become a specialist. And the more specialized you become, the more valuable your work is, and the more money you get as a side effect of that expertise, the greater the income, and you add value to the world. You receive that back in the form of praise and gratitude from other people. So the person who saved that tree in my little village, people were clapping and we all went to see the tree being fixed because it was the center of the village. It was an important structure. We all wanted that tree to survive. So the specialist, he got paid for that job and no one begrudged him the money because he saved this tree. So a side effect is that you're not going to have these hardships anymore. So today, embrace yourself, love yourself, no matter how you think that sounds. Especially if you're a man watching this. Men have much more problems saying things like, I love myself, because men have been trained not to express feelings, and especially these kind of feelings of, I love myself, I'm special, I'm allowed to get in touch with my feelings, I'm allowed to cry. Even these days where things have got much better and men are able to talk about their feelings, there's still a lot of men are still incapable of being nice to themselves. So it's interesting that we have a man here in this image. If you're male or female, please just realize that you are special. Thank yourself for being there. Ask how you can create the most value. You'll be guided, and that's going to end the hardships that you've endured. Either the hardship being that you always feel bad about yourself and that results in depression, or a hardship financially because you've always worked minimum wage jobs for the money because you've got no skills. And today you realize that you have an interest in something, you start to learn, you start to build skills, and you transition from your minimum wage job to a skilled job, and you start to make a really good income. And that then also builds your self-esteem, and you can say thank you for taking such good care of me again. 3 and 6 is 9, and 5 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is freedom. So you can have personal freedom and love from yourself. You don't have to be on your own case all the time. You're not good enough, you failed, you're a disappointment to your parents. You can have freedom within yourself, within your mind, and you can create financial freedom. And you're free to roam the world today as you please. You're free to cast your mind out and say, I really want to be an astronomer, even though no one in my family has done that. They've all been doctors. I want to do something completely different. You're able to cast your mind out and travel as much as you want. And the end result today is that you end up with more freedom in your life, and you're building freedom moving forward. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I can guide you in the sense of what your vocational aptitudes are. I can see what your life purpose is by drawing up your natal chart. I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, order a rectification with me. That's a process where I work out the time of birth, and then I can see everything about you. It's a blueprint of your soul. I had an appointment yesterday with a couple, and the guy said, I don't like to be labeled. And it's not about labeling people. It's about showing you who you are and what choices you've got. And if you decide to build on your natural disposition and your natural gifts, that you can thrive even more. So love, romance, strengths and weaknesses, travel, moving, anything that you have in mind, I can look at your chart and see how you can use those things to your advantage and how you can make the best of them. So have a wonderful day. To order the reading, go to gregoryscott.com, click on the readings tab. Have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.